Alright folks, welcome back to Just Podding Around. Pull up a chair, grab a drink and let's talk some wrestling, because AEW Full Gear 2025 was over the weekend and this thing was stacked. We were back at the Prudential Center in New York, New Jersey, and AEW rolled in with a card that looked like somebody said, hey, what if we just booked all our chaos on one night? Steel cage matches, title changes, blood, betrayals, friendship, hugs. Honestly, it had everything except Tony Khan diving off the stage. Give it time though. Tonight, we're running through every result, every grade, all the reactions and the moments that hit hardest. Let's get stuck in. Because AEW has decided that 0 Hour wasn't chaotic enough, now we've got tailgate brawls. Absolute carnage before dinner. The first matchup was the Outrunners versus Bowens and Caster versus Big Bill and Brian Keith versus the Bang Bang Gang, and this was for a $200,000. This had a $200,000 prize. I'll give this match a C+. This opener was fast, frantic, and over before Bowens and Caster could even finish arguing. Juice gets a sneaky roll-up win, wins the money, and boom, Bang Bang Gang invest in the world's most suspicious 401k. FTR pinned last week? Check. Bang Bang Gang winning here? Check. AEW clearly lining them up for a shot. Bowens snapped at Caster. Bill cut off the scissor celebration. Dalton Castle claimed Myrtle Beach debts. Mate, this thing was chaos in the best possible way. But yeah, too many bodies, not enough minutes. Next we had Boom and Doom, which is Big Boom AJ and QT Marshall versus Roppongi Vice. And we had AJ and QT Marshall winning for an overall grade of C. This felt like watching someone's backyard barbecue devolve into violence, in a good way. Paul White is on commentary, roasting Callis. The crowd is eating up AJ's nonsense, and Big Justice is slowly becoming a dude to watch. QT and Big Boom AJ get the win after a doomsday blockbuster. Roppongi Vice actually looked the best they've looked in ages, but let's be honest, these tailgate matches exist purely so the crowd can yell yeah every time AJ throws a forearm. Next we got Eddie Kingston and Hook versus the Workhorsemen, and Kingston and Hook get the win quickly for a grade of D. Look, this one was basically a squash. Eddie didn't even take off his hat. They just walked in, punched people, DDT, done. The Workhorsemen deserved better, but AEW had like 400 matches to win tonight, so here we are. Only major takeaway? Joe brought the whole Ops dojo with him. That'll matter later. Final match of the tailgate brawl is for the CMLL Trios titles. We've got El Sky Team defeating the Don Callis family, and with the El Sky Team retaining for a B+. Hachicero attacks before the bell. Okada shows up late in a Ferrari because of course he does. Takeshita and Okada still hate each other. Mystico comes back for the heroic moment, and AEW's CML partnership continues to deliver. This story slaps. Okada flipping off Takeshita mid-match, iconic. Sky Team retain. The Callis family melts down a bit more, and we move on. Now on to the main show, where we kick off with Darby Allin taking on Pac, where Pac wins via a dirty pin for an A-. Mate, Darby Allin is an insane person. Pac threw him around like a rag doll. Military press to the floor, still post spots, ripping bandages off burns, all of it. Darby still fights back and nearly wins with the Scorpion Deathlock, but Will Yuta distracts him and Pac nails him with Sting's bat. Cheap win? Yep. Fun match? Hell yes. Darby deserves a world title run soon. Pac desperately needed this W. Next up, we've got the women's 4-way tag match, and the winner of this match got to pick the stipulation for their women's world title semi-final match. And in this match, we got the Timeless Love Bombs, which is Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa, the Sisters of Sin, which is Julia Hart and someone, the Babes of Wrath, and Bane and Shafir. Look, not the most meaningful match, but it was fun. Toni Storm, who is, in my opinion, the best thing in AEW right now, eventually hits a big package and bags the win, earning the right to choose a stipulation for the next tournament match for the women's tag title. AEW's women's tag division is cooking, but this deserved more stakes. Next up, we got the World Tag Team Championships, in which Bandito defend against FTR, in which FTR win the belts for an A grade. Match of the night contender. Bandito was the MVP, fighting off FTR basically alone at points. Spike piledriver on the apron to take out Brody King. Shadow Machine. Bandito refusing to die like an action hero. FTR get the belts. Bandito loses nothing. Bandito is still ROH champ, and King still looks like a monster. This sets up the inevitable Christian and Copeland rematch. Yes, please. Next up, we got the Casino Gauntlet match to crown the inaugural AEW National Championship, in which Ricochet wins to become the inaugural champion for a B grade. A fun mess. Lashley and Benjamin start slow. Ricochet shows up flying everywhere. Castagnoli takes over like a leader. Daddy Magic shows up and scares Garcia off like a dad yelling at his kid in public. It was great. Ricochet hitting the spirit gun to win. Perfect. Unexpected, but perfect. Next up, we got a no holds barred match between Jon Moxley and Kyle O'Reilly, in which Kyle O'Reilly taps out Mox again for an A-. This was violent and technical, which is a weird combo, but somehow it worked. Mox used a fork like he was carving a Sunday roast. Kyle O'Reilly's arm was basically useless halfway through. Both guys bled enough to paint the ring red. Kyle still taps Mox out. Mox shows respect and attacks him anyway. Classic Mox. This absolutely made Kyle look like AEW's deadliest grappler. Next up, we got the TNT Championship in a no DQ match between Kyle Fletcher and Mark Briscoe, in which if Mark Briscoe had lost, he'd have to join the Don Callis family. But luckily enough for him, Mark Briscoe wins the TNT Championship for a B-. Another bloodbath. Tables, barbed wire, thumbtacks, screwdrivers. Fletcher nearly kills Briscoe with a top rope table spot. Briscoe hits a froggy bow off a massive ladder. Absolute madness. Jade Driller into the thumbtacks ends it. Briscoe is finally TNT champ and it feels right. Fletcher loses nothing. He'll be champ again. Next up, we've got the $1 million trios match between Jurassic Express and Kenny Omega versus Young Bucks and Josh Alexander. And the result is the Young Bucks and Alexander winning, then turn on Don Callis for a B+. This match, chaos. Omega finally hits the one-winged angel on Alexander, but the Bucks pin Jack Perry for the win. Callis tries to drag the Bucks away with the cash. The family attacks Kenny. Then the Bucks look around, realise they've known Kenny since the dinosaurs roamed the earth, and they turn on Callis. Elite reunion. Crowd loses it, friendship chants, big hug, genuinely awesome moment. Next up, we got the Women's World Championship match between Chris Statlander and Mercedes Moné, in which Statlander retains for an A grade. Third match in the trilogy, and easily one of the best. Mercedes goes after the injured arm, Stat keeps powering through, 14 Amigos gets the crowd to wake up, package piledriver nearly ends it. Statlander finally secures a clean win she needed. AEW isn't ready to put the world title on Moné yet, and that's fine. That is the division's anchor right now. Next up, in the main event, we've got the Men's World Championship match in a steel cage between Hangman Adam Page and Samoa Joe, in which Samoa Joe wins the title for an A-. Mate, this was storytelling. Hangman and Joe beat the hell out of each other, both men bleeding everywhere. Looked like someone had poured a bucket of red cordial over the ropes. Shibata shows up. Eddie Kingston fights him off. Hangman kills the ref by accident. Hangman hits Deadeye and Buckshot, no ref. And then Hook turns heel. The Handsome Devil hits Hangman. Joe hits a Muscle Buster, and that's the ball game. Lights out. Swerve Strickland returns. Crowd goes nuclear. Swerve and Hangman stare down the ops together. Mate, we are cooking for 2026. Joe is champ, perfect. Hangman and Swerve possibly uniting, inject it. And the overall show grade is an A-. Look, on paper, this was AEW's weakest pay-per-view of the year. But once the dust settled, this thing over-delivered. New champions, new alliances, new betrayals, stories exploding everywhere. AEW needed momentum after All In, and Full Gear lit a bloody bonfire. Alright legends, that's AEW Full Gear 2025 wrapped up. If you enjoyed the breakdown, drop a follow, hit the like button, tell a mate, all the good stuff. And let me know which match you reckon stole the show, because for me, Bandito versus FTR was chef's kiss. Catch you next episode. Stay safe, stay diddly, and keep watching wrestling.